Welcome back to Champion News Talk Radio. Yes, we are brought to you by championnews.net, your choice for the conservative voice. This is Carol Parisi, our founder. Jack Roeser and myself have Mr. C. Stephen Tucker. And before the break, Steve, you said something about the Liberty Amendments.
Yes.
What are those, and how is this going to help for the solution?
As many of us know, Mark Levin has a syndicated radio program, 9 million listeners a day. But he's also a constitutional scholar, and he's been on the forefront with his Landmark Legal Foundation fighting against Obamacare. Everything from the slaughter rule they were trying to do to deem it as passed, remember when they didn't have enough votes because of Scott Brown? He's been on the forefront of all of it. And people ask him every day, as they ask all of us, right, who are in the conservative, whether we're leaders or pseudo-leaders or whatever we are, what can we do? What can we do? This government's tyrannical. What can we do?
See, I think we're the new liberal movement, actually. We're more for liberty than anything, but
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Anyway, so they've been asking, what can we do? We're losing our rights, et cetera, et cetera. So Mark Levin pondered on it, and he's coming out with a new book in August. It's going to be released, I think it's August 18th, called The Liberty Amendments. And what he did is he looked very hard at Article 5 of the U.S. Constitution. And most of us who understand the value of the wisdom of our founding fathers would never recommend a constitutional convention, because you can't get better than our founding fathers, right? You'd have a bunch of people, trying to change the Constitution. But in Article 5, it states that the government can propose amendments, get 2/3 of Congress to approve it, and it can be passed, and they've done it 27 times. But there's an or in Article 5 of the Constitution that says, or the states can propose amendments by getting 2/3 of the states to agree. They can propose an amendment to the Constitution without any involvement from the federal government.
Who from the states?
The delegates from the states, the senators from the states, they can have a state convention. If you get all of them together, and remember, Republicans control 30 of the 50 states.
But does that mean the voters of that state don't get to vote, or they've
no,
already had their representatives go and
speak? Is this an opportunity or a danger?
This is a tremendous opportunity, because there's no way that it can change the Constitution without the amendment process. The amendment still takes 2/3 of the states to approve it. But the point here is that it empowers the people, the states, right, to propose these amendments and ratify these amendments without any involvement from the U.S. government. And the reason it was put in there is that if you read, for instance, the Federalist Papers, a lot of our early founders and those who were drafting the Constitution were very worried that what if someday the federal government becomes so powerful that they will not allow amendments to the Constitution because it takes away power from them. So they put that, or the states. And so this is brilliant. I never learned this.
They were visionaries.
Visionaries, but I never learned even this in school.
Has this ever happened?
Yeah, there's been an attempt at it once. It failed.
When?
I don't remember the year. Mark discussed it, but you can pull this up on his show. But what he's going to be outlining the next 2 or 3 months before the release of the Liberty Amendments books is the specific amendments we should be looking at, right? Such as no longer allowing bills to be passed without reading them, right? No longer allowing the usurpation of our rights, the 10th Amendment with Obamacare, the First Amendment with Obamacare, right? All these things would no longer be allowed through these proposed amendments. And I don't know what they are yet, but it is the solution for the people, we the people, the states, to take back our government.
There should be an evident penalty in there where when some bureaucrat like Obama wants to modify our laws just by his fiat.
Correct.
What the hell?
Fiat's got to go.
His fiats, his orders from his minions all around him that changed what was passed in Congress.
And he's not the first
one. There ought to be a penalty
for
that.
Bush did executive orders.
How many
a lot of
executive
people
orders?
did.
He should be, Obama should be impeached on what he's done.
Yeah.
Because what he's done is he's fooled around with the basic government process of this country by allowing the executive to change the law according to what he thinks it should be, not what was passed by the people in Congress.
And look at our government.
That's got to be wrong.
One of the things we got to keep focused on is we saw what's happening in Massachusetts. The insurance companies there, the premiums have gone up. There's some that have close to bankruptcy, correct?
Absolutely right. Yeah.
Obamacare is designed to do one thing, and that is to toss all the private health insurance companies out of business, to turn it into a single-payer system. They are carving out for themselves an entirely new branch of government.
Michael, I don't know if you remember, but a couple of years ago, we were at a healthcare protest, and we interviewed some people on the left. And that was totally what they wanted.
Yeah.
They wanted single payer. We have it on tape. In fact, I have that. If we could pull some of that tape up.
Well, Jack makes a perfect example of what a single payer system looks like in public education.
Exactly. Our public education is a single
And
payer.
No
understand,
morals.
this is happening already, Michael. We've lost 14 health insurance companies since Obamacare was signed into law. 14 health insurance companies. They're all being consolidated and gobbled up by the bigger carriers, leaving less competition, higher prices, as it happens anytime you have a monopoly.
Right.
This is what's happening. So,
This whole, we're coming into another section here in just a minute, but we should realize what this is doing to the warp and woof. We here in Illinois are the ones that are going to suffer. Businesses are leaving Illinois. I know I could give you lots of examples. Rich people who have family fortunes are getting out of Illinois because there's the death tax in Illinois is too high. They may as well go somewhere else to die so they don't lose all of their family's money. It's an incentive for rich people to leave this state. And there goes the people that can start businesses,
correct,
who have the finances to do it.
Yeah.
We're wrecking the state of Illinois with this crazy government we've got in our own state here.
and they won't even reform our pension system.